Hello everyone, welcome back to Simulated TC. We are here in Barcelona for race 2 of pre-season testing. If you did miss race 1, please do go back and check that one out. It was a very exciting race to battle for the win. Had 4 cars sort of break away from the field and do battle. Whilst the rest of the pack, well, it was quite frankly, it was pack racing, like around an oval. It was incredible stuff throughout the field, and very much worth a watch. We could see something very similar happen again here today. After race 1, of course, the top 5 on the grid are all not able to start on the soft tyres because they've already used them. So that means, guaranteed at least, the top 5 will all be on a medium or a hard tyre. And I can tell you now, it's not just the top 5 that aren't on soft tyres. 9th place, the highest starting car on the soft compound tyres. So we will have quite a race ahead of us here. So, let's get the talking done with, because you're here for the racing. Let's go see the starting grid. At the back of the field for race number 2, we have a couple of drivers that weren't actually in race number 1. 2 drivers did not choose their tyres for this race, therefore opening up 2 more grid spots on the back of the field for 2 people that previously did not qualify. And those 2 drivers are Carlo Durante, who was actually the 26th and slowest qualifier, but due to others forgetting to choose tyres, he has been up into 19th position placed, and he is starting on soft tyres. Just ahead of him, it is Morgan Hitchings, also on the soft compound tyres. As is Liam Jones, just ahead of the pair of them there, the bottom 3 on the grid, all on soft tyres, so look for them coming through the field here. Just ahead of them, we have Albert Asante. He's starting this race on the medium compound tyres, saving his soft to race 3. Ian Henwood just ahead of him, another driver saving their softs. He's on the hard tyres. Next up is Thomas Pierpont on the hard compound tyres. Then the next soft runner is Andre Jamil, moving from Alfa Romeo to Toyota this season. He's going for softs in race 2. Ahead of him it is then Matthew Lilly on the medium compound tyres, with Seb Mills just ahead there on the hard compound tyres. Adam Richardson will be starting this race from the 10th position, looking to stay in that top 10 to get into the reverse grid for race 3. He's on the medium compound tyres, and just ahead of them we have Tyler Davison, highest starting driver on the softest compound of tyre here, starting in 9th place there. Just ahead of him is Jordan Fingal on the hard compound tyres. The same is the case for the 4 cars in front of him as well, actually, because we have Adrian Tishy on the hard tyres. Then it is Jackson Turner on the hard compound tyres, as is Dimitri Sotirakis. Ahead of Dimitri, it is then Ben Driscoll in his Genesis on the hard compound tyres. The top 3 on the grid, though, going in a different direction, using the mediums for race 2, and they are Leo Bonnet there in 3rd position. 2nd on the grid, starting on the front row, is Adam Liu there in his Renault. But on the pole position, after winning pre-season race number 1, it's the rookie, Aston Lewis, looking to try and really mark his place in this series here, at least in pre-season testing. He's been very strong so far. So, he'll start race number 2 from the pole position on the medium compound tyres, but keep an eye out for those on the softs charging through the field. The cars are ready then, the drivers are too. Let's hope we are, because we are racing here for race number 2 here in Barcelona, and it's a flying start from both drivers on the 2nd row of the grid. Ben Driscoll with his 4-wheel drive Genesis launches up past all 3 cars in front of him. He's going to lead us down towards turn 1 here. He's going to cover off across the front of the Alfa Romeo of Leo Bonnet, but look at Aston Lewis. He's coming back down the inside. He really wants to make his mark on this series, but Driscoll around the outside is going to hold on to the lead as they come through the first couple of corners here. As you now see side by side racing behind them. Davison trying to make some moves early on here on his soft compound tyres. Is going to go all the way around the outside of turn 3 here. Important moves here early in this race. He's going to get to the outside of Leo Bonnet and get himself into the top 3 here. Even maybe perhaps look at a move at Aston Lewis as we head into the next corner here. Not quite close enough unless he's going to look around the outside, which he's going to do now. The Peugeot flying here on those soft compound tyres. It has come alive now, and he's charging up into 2nd place, and there's only 1 spot now between him and the lead of the race. Will he do it now? He will! What a start from Tyler Davison. 8 positions in about a sector of this track. That is incredible stuff there from the Peugeot, which has just flown its way through the field here. As we look back, we see Andre Jamil, the next highest car on the soft compound tyres. He's had a flying start as well here. He started 13th. He's up into 4th. The Toyota is really making use of those soft compound tyres here. These drivers are flying through the field already, as we see Andre Jamil now up into third place, all the way around the outside of Aston Lewis. Next up for him will be Ben Driscoll, and he's going to pass him too in that one corner. The run on those soft tyres through there was incredible here, as they're still side by side as they enter the braking zone. You would have to imagine the Toyota on those soft tyres, comfortable favourite, and it does comfortably outbrake them. Actually, as Aston Lewis is going to be the one looking down the inside, trying to make the move now on Driscoll. These two liveries, both their testing liveries, the black and grey for those two cars, be a bit more colourful, I imagine, for the season ahead. But we see there, that's Leo Bonnet making the pass on Aston Lewis. Leo Bonnet and Aston Lewis both on those medium command tyres. Now, of course, there is success ballast in this series, so the drivers that finished in the top 10 for race 1 all have some extra weight on board, starting at 50 kilograms for the winner and 5 kilograms for 10th place. I'm sure you can work out in between 5 kilogram intervals for each position there, as we see Liam Jones. He started right near the back of the field. He's on soft tyres too, and he's going all the way around the outside of Matthew Lilley at the final corner. Behind them, Adam Richardson. Then it's the Toyota of, I believe, either Albert Asante. It is indeed Albert Asante, because there is Adrian Tisci trying to make a pass here on Jackson Turner as they head towards turn 1. This is important stuff for this race here, for these drivers, because whilst it may not seem too important to be finishing in this mid-pack here, when you are on soft tyres, it is crucial, because race 3, the top 10 are reversed here, and as you see there, that's Liam Jones coming through, who's going to demote Adrian Tisci down into that 10th position. 10th place here, and with so many of these drivers saving their softs for race 3 is going to be crucial. Not necessarily finishing in that 10th position exactly, but being in and around that reverse grid. As long as you can make the reverse grid, if you can get in that top 10 and you've saved your softs for race 3, you've got a real chance of winning race 3 here. So that's what these drivers that haven't used their softs yet today will be focusing on here, as Liam Jones is trying to look for the move there on Turner as they head up through turn 4 again here now. Jones in at the Subaru on those soft tyres. Won a lot of races last season for Mitsubishi. This season moving to Subaru to partner up with his friend Lewis Francis here, and he puts the bumper to the back of Turner as they head through there. The four-wheel drive Subaru trying to use its traction advantage to get past, but at the moment a little boxed in there, as actually Turner's going to be looking at the move on Dimitri Sotorakis as they head up down to the next corner, and we see them now battling their way through here. Turner just staying ahead for now, but behind you got more battles. That looks like Morgan Hitchings making his way through the field there in the second of the DS cars. 2 DSs in this field this season, and then Liam Jones looking again down the inside, not quite able to make it stick though, but Hitchings starting at the back of the field here, starting 18th out of 19 cars, already near the top 10 here in his DS. Showing that that car has some real speed, of course, after Aston Lewis took it to victory in race number 1 here, as Turner goes down the inside of Sotorakis. Mercedes versus Honda now. The four-wheel drive of the Mercedes should give it a better traction on corner exit here. They're both on hard compound tyres. Slightly more weight on board the Mercedes there as they bang doors going through this final sector of the lap now. Liam Jones looking to try and find a way past here as he sort of ducks and weaves past these cars, but he's getting a bit blocked. But now finally he gets himself down the inside of Turner as they head into the final couple of corners. Turner's going to try and carry some momentum here around the outside, and actually it hasn't worked too badly as Jones got a little bit boxed in, but like now behind them it's Morgan Hitchings trying to make something happen as they head through the final corner now. This is great action here in the opening laps of this race. Those on the soft tyres really having to make their grip count here as we see them making their way down onto the front stretch again here now. It's DS versus Honda on top speed. It looks as though the DS has it, and quite comfortably so, it has to be said there. The DS is an absolute rocket ship, it seems, as they head down towards turn 1 here. And onto the brakes here, they're going to be free wide into turn 1. It's Liam Jones that outbrakes the pair of them as they head through the first corner now. Morgan Hitchings trying to carry some momentum through the first couple of corners. He looks like he's just about going to manage it, and he gets up into 8th position there. Jones into 7th, Aston Lewis just ahead, but we've just seen how quick that DS is in a straight line. This isn't going to be an easy move for Liam Jones to pull off here as they head up towards turn 4 again here. The soft tyres, though, will give him a good chance in the corners, but actually it's Morgan Hitchings having a little look to Jones's inside as they head in to turn 4 now. Jones all over the back of Aston Lewis, the race 1 winner. As we look back further down the field, we see there that's Jordan Fingal and Matthew Lilley battling out their 2 drivers in the Tesla, both not on soft compound tyres. Matthew on the mediums, and it is Jordan on the hard tyres. Of course, they were the reverse of that in race 1, which is why Jordan did get ahead originally on the starting grid for this one. As we see them making their way down through the middle part of the lap now, and we see there Liam Jones has actually made the pass there on Aston Lewis. Jones has got ahead in the cornering section of the lap. He needed to, really, because that's where the DS will be weaker. But now, and we've seen this last season, we could see a repeat of it here, where 2 drivers, both in the same car, really find it hard to overtake each other. it's something about sort of the strengths and weaknesses of the car being the same part of the lap means that it's just really hard to find that overspeed at the crucial point where you can make the overtake, because Hitchings won't be able to slipstream past Aston Lewis. He's in the same car. He doesn't have the power advantage over his teammate here. Maybe he can get the traction on exit, but no, again, you can see where the DS of Lewis struggles. You can also see that Morgan Hitchings is going to have similar issues in those corners, and whilst he does have more grip, it's going to be not easy to use that grip to get past here. He's going to be getting impatient here behind his teammate, getting a bit held up here. I say a lot held up, because look, Liam Jones has already disappeared down the road now in this one. Carlo Durante not far behind these as well on the soft compound tyres. He's making his way through the field as well. And look at the speed difference through the final corner, but he just can't quite carry the momentum onto the straight here. And they've got the same engine, they've got the same aero, they're going to be hitting the same speed down the straight, and even with the power of the slipstream, it probably won't quite be enough here, as we see that's Liam Jones having a little look at Adam Liu as they head down towards turn 1. Subaru, not the best car in a straight line, but it is a very strong car in the corners, which is going to give it that advantage, and that's how he passed Aston Lewis. As you see, Morgan Hitchings nowhere near his teammate into the braking zone of turn 1. The Mercedes of Soterakis is actually closer there, as we see Adrian Tishy and Jackson Turner battling again here for that crucial 10th position to keep themselves in the reverse grid here. Carlo Durante just behind them, trying to make his way through the field now in that Alfa Romeo on the soft compound tyres. Samari's driver trying to make something happen here and get himself up into this battle between Hitchings and Lewis. Lewis actually were doing a great favour to Carlo Durante here by holding up Morgan Hitchings, because it's allowing Durante to slowly cut his way through the field here, and in theory if Durante catches up, again it's a different car situation. When you drive a different car to the car in front of you, it's easier to overtake them because you have a strength in a different part of the lap there, as we see that being displayed perfectly well there. Liam Jones makes a beautiful pass there down inside of Ben Driscoll, and he's passed 3 cars in that first sector alone. Jones flying here up into 3rd position. The 2 cars ahead of him now on soft tyres as well, so it's not going to be easy to reel them in, but we did see in race 1 the top 4 did sort of group up towards the end of it. So don't be surprised if we see Liam Jones really in the top 2 here, especially if he feels he's got the pace to try and make something happen here. We saw Aston Lewis in race number 1 catch and pass Adam Liu. Could we see a similar case here, Liam Jones reeling in those top 2, or will they have the pace here in this second race of pre-season testing? Jones in that 3rd position, looking to try and put on a strong display here, as we see the 2 DSs are still bumper to bumper here as they head down towards the hairpin. It's so close here between these 2 drivers. It's so hard to try and pick a point where Hitchings can make the move. As we see behind them, Turner's found a point to make the move, as has Durante, as they come through the hairpin there. You can see it's just easier to pass when you have a little bit of an advantage there, as Turner side by side with Soterakis. These 2 drivers both on hard compound tyres. The difference between them is the fact that Soterakis is carrying more success ballast from his 5th place finish. Admittedly, only 5 kilograms more here. Soterakis will be hoping for a slightly better showing as he comes through the final couple of corners here to be in this fight. The Honda looking like a stronger car around this track at the moment here. Of course, all these cars will have their strengths and weaknesses across the season. They've been balanced relatively thoroughly as you can do without dedicating your life to it, as they come onto the main straight again here. So we'll see some cars being stronger. At the moment, the Honda looks stronger than the Mercedes, but there you see the Alfa Romeo of Carlo Durante. Side by side with the Honda, and the Honda, though, just stretching his legs here. You will notice the trend is the front-wheel drive cars tend to have better top speed. That's to make up for their lack of traction on corner exits. They don't have the rear-wheel drive traction or the four-wheel drive traction that gets them out of the corners as quickly, so they have to make up for that by having a little bit more power, which then in turn gives them a little bit more top speed at the end of the straights. But as you can see there, when it comes to soft versus hards, there really is no competition at all here. Durante up into 9th position. But speaking about a competition, this one is going on here. Aston Lewis on these medium tyres. Crucially, these medium tyres may well be the choice that has kept him ahead of Hitchings at this point in time, as Durante continues already reeling into this battle and on the back bumper of Morgan Hitchings. The fact that Aston Lewis went with those medium compound tyres rather than going with the hards here has allowed him to have enough of a pace advantage, at the moment at least, to keep these drivers behind him, as Hitchings has a little look down the inside, but he just can't quite get alongside his teammate here. As actually you can see Durante is going to try and go all the way around the outside. This could be critical here, as these 2 are side by side behind Aston Lewis. They're all getting a bit boxed in. Could this be the opportunity Hitchings need? Could this be the hurry up that he needs to try and make this move happen as they now come up the hill? Durante going around the outside. He's going to try and pull this one off. He's going to successfully pull this one off by the looks of things. Will he now follow up with an inside move as they they head up towards turn number 9. Here they're going to be side by side. This is crucial stuff for both of these drivers. They need to get past Aston Lewis as soon as possible. They are losing so much time and so many possible positions because of course there's cars ahead that also aren't on the soft compound tyres. These guys should be comfortably quicker than them, and they are. They're just getting held up at this point as Hitchings still all over the back of him. You can see how close he gets through the hairpin. You have to imagine with a step harder compound tyres on Aston Lewis's car, he would not have the grip to defend here. So the medium tyres looking like an excellent choice of compound for this race from Aston Lewis. Of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure he'll be pleased with how this one's gone so far. Morgan Hitchings, however, his teammate, will be furious watching this situation. Their teammates, it may only be pre-season testing, but still you want to be able to at least see what the car can do in free air, as Hitchings is still stuck here behind his teammate. Durante's going to have a chance here down the main straight. I'd be surprised if he's able to get a run. The Alfa Romeo is a solid car in top speed, not the strongest as we see behind them. We see Sotirakis and Tishy battling now. Tishy trying to get past the Mercedes here. Tishy, much lighter car compared to Sotirakis here, trying to make something happen as they head towards turn 1. Not quite got the top end speed though to match the Mercedes, which is again another pretty solid car on the straights here. As we look further down the field, we see two drivers not having the best of events so far here in pre-season testing. That's Ian Henwood and Thomas Pierpont going side by side through turn number 1. As both of these Thomas Pierpont is on the hards and Ian Henwood is also on the hard compound tyres. Actually, both of them on the hard tyres there. These two drivers battling over the wooden spoon really at the moment at the rear of the field, but two drivers there, like many in the field, who are saving their soft tyres for race number 3. So it's going to be exciting stuff as we head through the next part of the lap. Now we can see the battle is continuing to rage on here. Free car scrap, and honestly Turner isn't too far away from this group. He may be able to reel them in here. Turner on those hard tyres. Look at that, Durante gets to the inside. This could be another opportunity for him as they're going to be side by side coming out of there and heading down the hill into the quick left, then right kink as they head up the hill again. And they're side by side here. The teammates, they bang doors. Drama here, but Hitchings, has he got it done? He has. Morgan Hitchings is up into 7th place. Finally, he's got past his teammate. He's done it and he's into 7th place, and he has a chance now to try and reel in that group ahead of him here. He's only got a lap and a half really to do it, but who knows? The soft tyres have got some speed in them. Durante is going to have to try and follow him through as quickly as possible here. Turner behind, seeing this as an opportunity perhaps to reel in himself into Aston Lewis. He has harder tyres than Aston Lewis, but is carrying less success balance, so he should be at a disadvantage, but not as a big disadvantage. So look how wide Aston Lewis went through the hairpin there. That is just a lack of grip you can see on display as we've got battling further back through the field. That's Matthew Lilly, who's just gone around the outside of the reigning champion, Adam Richardson there. Richardson, another driver, anonymous pretty much so far in pre-season testing, but saving his softs for race number 3. We're going to see an exciting battle, I think, in that race, as we now head back towards the final couple of corners, and already you can see the gap is closing in. The group there on the medium and hard compound tyres battling away for that 4th, 5th and 6th position, getting reeled in by Morgan Hitchings here. We see Andre Jamil in this 2nd position here, pretty quiet so far. He made that stunning lap 1, just like Tyler Davison did, but hasn't quite had the speed to reel him in much enough really here as we are on the final lap now. It's not looking like he's reeled him in enough to make a challenge for the lead. Tyler Davison looking strong out front here to make a front-wheel drive car take its place in victory lane again. If he can hold on here, as he's purple through the first sector. Shows you just how hard he is pushing out there at the moment. But Andre Jamil does have the fastest lap at this point in the race, unless Tyler Davison can do something on the final lap to beat that. No points on offer for that, but it's certainly a statement if you can get a fast lap there. Liam Jones in that 3rd position there, just hanging on to the top 2. As you see, this is the scrap now for 4th position. Now behind them, Aston Lewis still just ahead of Carlo Durante there as they battle their way through here. Durante trying to make the move on Lewis. He's just going to have a look now. Not quite close enough. You can see the Alfa Romeo trying to have a little look. Any opportunity he gets here. And perhaps we said perhaps it was the 2DSs being in the same car that made them quite hard to overtake. Aston Lewis actually looking quite hard to overtake from anyone's position at the moment. But look at that send. That is remarkable there from Carlo Durante. Decisive moves. And wow, that is that's a move that he knew was going to be successful. When you break that late, you give the opposition no chance, realistically. Carlo Durante breaks late, makes the corner, drives away, and he's up into 8th position. Probably going to be too late for him to reel in the group ahead. which Hitchings has, I believe, latched himself onto the back of, but he has at least made a point there of finally getting past the DS, which is looking quite troublesome there. But up at the front here, Tyler Davison has the lead over Andre Jamil. It's not a massive margin, but as they come through the final corner, it's going to be more than enough for him to take a victory in race number 2. Through the final corner for the final time, Tyler Davison is going to take Peugeot to a victory here in pre-season race number 2. And second place goes to Andre Jamil, the Brazilian, in second place. Third place will go to Liam Jones, finishing off the podium here. As you see, 2 new manufacturers so far looking very strong in pre-season testing, DS and Peugeot, winning races 1 and 2. Impressive stuff from the pair of them, as Hitchings has actually got past Adam Liu, but just ahead of them, that is Leo Bonnet on the medium compound tyres. He's going to come around the final corner and take 4th place here. And that's a very strong finish then. Strong points for Leo Bonnet after a strong race 1 as well. Behind him, Ben Driscoll in the Genesis comes home 5th ahead of Morgan Hitchings, and Adam Liu in 7th, just beating Carlo Durante to that 8th position. So here we have the official results for race number 2 here in Barcelona pre-season testing. Davison, Jamil, Jones lining up on the podium there, all of them on the soft tyres. Leo Bonnet on the mediums with a strong showing ahead of Ben Driscoll on the hard compound tyres. Strong drive there on hard tyres, it has to be said for Driscoll. Morgan Hitchings there on the soft. Adam Liu on the mediums there. Not the race you would have wanted, but after a strong race in race 1, it's not too disappointing there. Carlo Durante 8th on soft. Then it's Aston Lewis, Jackson Turner. They will be our front row for race number 3. And Turner, crucially, is the only driver in the top 10 who has soft tyres available. So that is, well, a strong position for him to be in for race number 3. Behind them, Dimitri Sotorakis, Adrian Tishy, Jordan Fingal there. Just behind them, Alan Richardson and Albert Asante round out the top 15, which would be point scorers if this wasn't pre-season testing. Behind them, just outside the top 15, Matthew Lilly, Sebastian Mills, Thomas Pierpont and Ian Henwood brings up the back of the field. As now we look towards race number 3 in 2 days' time on Thursday. Make sure to come back for that one, because wow, we got some racing on display here today, and with so many drivers back of the pack on soft compound tyres, who knows what we're going to see in race number 3. So please do come and join us on Thursday at the same time as today. We'll see you then. Thank you very much, and goodbye.